Hello, everybody. I am Afefe with Touch by Tarot and Beyond. If you're new to my channel, I'm so glad you're here. I'm an intuitive tarot and oracle reader. I do quite a bit on politics, and then I also check in a couple of times a month for pick-a-card readings, more on spiritual growth and insight from spirit guides for the new moon and full moon. I will have something up we've got something coming up on December 1st. I think it's the new moon. So we will definitely speaking on behalf of me and the spirit guides, right? We will have something up for you, a pick a card by then. I am getting ready to travel for the holidays, so I've got to try to, figure out my setup and how I'm going to work it out. But you'll hear from me one way or another, all right? That said, couple of things I want to look at today. And of course, I would be totally wrong if I didn't say thank you so much to my current subscribers and thank you to my members. I really, really appreciate you. Wish you blessings. If you only knew how many times that before I sit down, I'm cognizant of you and I send all the light and energy that I'm capable of your way, right? We all need that. And I know I see it in the comments when you send it back to me. It is divine reciprocity. As it comes, it goes, right? Let's keep it going. A couple of things. I'm going to try and keep this one short, but a couple of things I want Spirit led me to take a look at today. And, I want to hear what you all say always in the comments. I only ask that we keep it respectful and tolerant, right? Yeah, okay. So the exodus on X seems to be having quite the impact. I have been reading through numerous sources, Blue Sky, Threads, even major media, major publications. I do still follow, interested to hear what you all follow, but I still follow The Atlantic. I follow the New Republic, of course, ProPublica, some others, that seem to still be kind of doing a decent job with journalism. And by the way, if you're new to my channel, one of the reasons that's important to me is because long ago, I used to be a newspaper journalist. So I do enjoy a good story. I enjoy good investigative journalism. I know what it takes to be able to do that. Certainly not in today's times. The game has really changed, and that's what we're going to look at. We got this exodus on X. And here's what's interesting. They're saying that, a lot of these stories are saying that now you've got all these extremists and the MAGA folk that are losing their shit because they don't have the same people there to pick the fights with. And that part of their whole agenda, which we know, is to always hit the trigger points and keep the fight going and show, this person, the liberals are saying this and that. And that's why we got to push harder, fight harder. And it's like, hello, because liberals have checked out, moved on to some other places, Threads, Blue Sky, etc. Blue Sky is doing a great job, by the way. They're already seeing the trolls trying to come over there and start the disturbance. They're like, block, delete, block, delete, block, delete. Right? Loving it. So I do want to take a look, however, and see the impact that is having on Musk, because he's losing money. We know that ever since it became X instead of Twitter, it's lost money hand over fist, in addition to just being a really sloppy and tilted the moon. Oh yeah, he's worried. He may not want to show it, and he may feel like he's got so much money that he really doesn't give a damn, but he's worried. He's shown, it's weighing on his psyche. And the fact that with more and more liberals, or even right-thinking conservatives, leaving X en masse, right? That fewer advertising dollars, etc. So, yeah, Musk is really upset about this. He's worried about it. He's worried about losing money. Speak to us, Spirit. 5 of Pentacles. Yeah, this is getting to him. And what's interesting is because they always accused the liberals of using these sorts of platforms as an echo chamber. We all get on there. That's what they're trying to say now about Blue Sky and Threads, that we all, liberals gather around, or progressives gather around, independents, whomever, gather around and essentially just bounce off each other the same, the same ideas. Everybody's singing off of the same hymnal sheet, but that's not the case. And the lovers, because, woo, this is getting good. Thank you, Spirit. Remember, when I see the lovers, I think of, I'm still going to call him Mickey D. There were some people who were confused about my reference to that in my last recording. Big Macs. Who loves the Big Macs, right? And just trying to be careful more and more of our wording on these platforms. So he's still Mickey D. He will be for the foreseeable future, right? So Mickey D, lovers, Gemini, relied heavily on X and this whole misinformation campaign that was happening during the election cycle, right? So if it's not going to garner any more support, and it just becomes basically a garbage can for, nonsense and nonsensical stuff, then what good is it to Mickey D? And then does that devalue, for all of his money and all of his investment into Mickey D, does that devalue Muskrats? We're going to call him Muskrat now. Does that devalue him? Hey man, you got to reassess the situation. Be on the lookout for Spirit. Would Muskrat sell X? Would he put it on the market if it continues this way? 8 of Pentacles reversed. He wouldn't want to, because he feels like he doesn't want to look like a loser. And he'd almost be willing to continue to take the hit. 4 of Wands upright. So he doesn't want to admit defeat. But he is aware of, at a certain point, is this making sense? So to a certain extent, all of this, carrying on, be careful what you wish for. You just might get it, the MAGA faithful. You wanted to run some folk off. You wanted to bully people, and not realizing that there are always going to be other alternatives. And I just think it's quite, Spirit is saying, on a personal level, and I definitely feel it from the ancestors and spirit guides, that there's sort of this, there is always a way. And it's taking a lot of the steam out of their, out of those puff chests and all this toxic energy, because there is not that back and forth. There is, and it's not as frustrating for people who were still trying to use X. And there's still quite a number of people on the platform. It is still much, much larger than Blue Sky and Threads. There are still those there, but just by and large, understanding that was going to be the go-to place to get on there and really go after people, it ain't happening. It ain't happening. Now, that said, talking about X and this exodus, also, we're hearing that Comcast is having another shakeup. They own NBC Universal. They own MSNBC. We heard that Rachel Maddow has already agreed to take a $5 million pay cut, so down to $25 million from $30 million. Like, she ain't gonna suffer no matter, what does that even mean, right? I mean, not to, hey, make what you can, but 25 mil still, But here's the thing. So the question is cable news legacy media? We've been hearing that term a lot. Especially post-election, but even prior to the election, and the way that a lot of these major media outlets were covering the election, especially what they were calling sane washing Mickey D. So they've been taking heat for a while. They're also not making money, apparently. And, so Comcast is like, they're going to do something called SpinCo. Not quite sure on all the details on that. But here's the deal, you all. So Don Jr. pipes up on X and sends a tweet to Muskrat and says, what do you think about this? Meaning this Comcast, shakeup. And should you buy it? And Muskrat responds with, how much is it? Now, the reason, Ace of Pentacles, okay, I'm going to talk about that. The reason that's interesting. Spirit is saying is because if I got my dates right, it was around 2017 that there was a similar post. I don't know if it was from Don Jr. to Elon, but there was something, out there, put out there to him, to Muskrat, stick to the name of Fefe, saying, hey, what do you think about Twitter? You might want to do that. Took a few years, but eventually, what was it, 2022? He took it over and renamed it and sent it all to hell. But so this same situation now, hey, Comcast is getting ready to make some moves. MSNBC might be up for grabs. Is that why Mika and Joe carried their butts down to Mar-a-Lago, hat in hand? Can't we all just be friends? Because they see the writing on the wall. Ace of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck, you all. I am wondering, is this a serious thing? Is MSNBC in trouble? And then we have Joe Rogan from that podcast starts hooping and hollering like, okay, well, if you're going to do this, Muskrat, consider me to take over Rachel Maddow's position. All right, I'll gladly take her position. So there's all of this stuff. I want to see if it's real, if it's a thing. Spirit. Is MSNBC going to wind up on the chopping block for Ten of Pentacles? There's something, Comcast definitely wants to unload it. It's not, the whole cable news thing, it's just not profitable. It's just not making sense. The audiences are not growing. I read somewhere that post-election MSNBC's ratings were down 40%, if not more. Yeah, that's not a good look. Five of Swords. Just a thought, just babble right now. Will MSNBC wind up on the chopping block? Ooh, two cards just came. The Hangman could very well. Whoa. And the Ten Pentacles. All the marbles. All the personnel. All the whole shebang. Like, what do we do with this? And is there somebody willing on the outside to look in and figure out how to try to somehow capture it, capitalize on it? Now, is that Muskrat, or is that just what's going to happen to the network itself? Will Muskrat, you know who I'm talking about, Spirit, will Muskrat try to really make a push for MSNBC? Will he try to make a push for that? Nah. Eight of Cups. Oh, I get it. I'll tell you why. Because remember, he's gonna have his hands full with this DOGE, right? DOGE, Department of Government Efficiency. Yeah. He's gonna have his hands full. And at least in the immediate future, I feel like this is at least a couple of years or so. It's just too much going on. He's gonna have so much that he's trying to impact, in terms of trying to stay in Mickey D's good graces. Now we know that's another question coming up. Princess of Pentacles. This is a new. He almost sees it as a joke. That's what's kind of irksome about it. Muskrat sees it as a joke. The potential to get in, take over an MSNBC. Like he wouldn't do anything serious with it any more than he did anything serious with X to keep it viable, right? So he doesn't. It doesn't really titillate him. He's not. This is just fun and games, and it's also Spirit is saying it's also. I got Justice though. Hold up. Why is Justice here, Spirit? Is that something that's going to get weighed out in the future? Oh, Wheel of Fortune. Muskrat won't be the only person, you all. There are big changes coming for MSNBC. We already know that by virtue of the fact that Comcast has decided to make these moves. But what it will become and who is going to step in to really take the helm of it, if in fact the same, major banner type Anchors are going to stay. I know that in addition to Rachel Maddow, Nicole Wallace is a real big draw there. O'Donnell, even though he's later at night, he's still very well respected. Yeah, there's and this is, when you get the Wheel of Fortune, it's a cycle. So this cycle of the legacy media is, and MSNBC is being shifted into another dimension, another time. Remember too, you all, we say it over and over again, and we're going to be saying it for some years to come. Pluto in Aquarius. What have we been talking about? That was going to mean changes in technology, information systems, AI, and all of these different things, including media, major media. Ace of Cups, more confirmation. And the World. Ooh. Normally I love those two cards, but in this context, yeah, you are. Watch. Be alert to what happens with MSNBC. And I do believe that where what Spirit is giving me is where it is distinct from, say, another outlet like CNN. Remember, we saw CNN curve a while ago. Their anchors and their coverage and their tone started to become a lot more conservative, a lot more right leaning, right? We saw that happening, and we were told that it was because in the interest of fairness and appearing unbiased, and in the interest of trying to attract viewers, right? Don't be surprised, that'll be another reading for another day. CNN has a reckoning coming as well, but with MSNBC being clearly and its commentary focused coverage being clearly liberal and left-leaning, that's where we are with this. There's some changes coming. And so I would love, for some reason, Soros just came to mind, or Soros-like people. Like they're, Muskrat may be the biggest billionaire out there, but he ain't the only one by far. And there are progressive and liberal-leaning very, very wealthy people out there. It'll be very interesting to see who steps forward. There is definitely going to be a shakeup, though, and Rachel Maddow's 25 mil may go down some more. We just have to wait and see. All right, I'd love to hear your thoughts on that, and in general, what you're feeling and intuiting around the changes that we have coming in legacy media, and also our alternatives, because we still need information. We need good, reliable information and good, reliable sources of information. So let's all stay, on one accord. And keep our energy up around that. All right, I promise to keep it short. That's what I'm going to do. Again, I am traveling this week, so I will try and get something up Wednesday before I get out of here. And but either way, I'll be in touch with you all. Okay, take care. Happy holidays. I'll talk to you soon. Chin up, breathe deep. We got this. I'll talk to you later. Bye.